Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. Welcome to our team selection video for game week 3. I'm going to go through captaincy, transfers, team selection, all that good stuff. So hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and let's take a look. Let's start off in goal then. I've got Ramsdale. He's got a decent fixture away at Bournemouth this week. Good fixtures beyond that as well. Fulham, Villa and Everton. 3 out of the next 4 home games. I'm not sure whether Man United holds too many fears for them either. XGC, expected goals conceded. Not miraculous, but it's so early in the season. Conceded 2 against Leicester. Pretty good generally, I thought, the defence in that Palace game. So I'm not too worried about Ramsdale. He's a set and forget for me. I've got Ward who I can rotate when and if I need him, but for now Ramsdale gets the nod. James as well, goals conceded expected 2.3. Chelsea not been exactly tight. Obviously you can see those 2 goals at home to Tottenham. I thought they were a bit unfortunate to only get a draw in that game, but again James so attacking. Disappointing to see him start in that back 3 on the right hand side, but as soon as he went to impact, almost instantly created that chance for Havertz to score and then got the goal himself. I'm hoping that that's earned him a place on right wing back. If he stayed in that centre-back role consistently for a period of time, I would consider having to move him because it really does restrict his attacking capabilities. But right now, XGI of 0.59, that's up with almost everyone there is. He's outstripping the likes of Cancelo, Robbo, Trent. He just looks absolutely brilliant. So hopefully he continues to play on that right-hand side, and Tuchel's seen the value of him doing that. If they ever sign for Fofana, I think that would really cement his side, placing that side over there as well. James, absolute set and forget for me. Robertson, I am worried about Robertson. Fixture away at Man U is not what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about his fixtures, but I'm paying a lot of money for a player who just isn't doing a lot. And I think it's still too early to worry. Liverpool not keeping a clean sheet. We'll see what happens with that. It's only 2 games into the season. But in terms of Robertson over Trent, I mean, Trent just passing all the statistics. In that last game, he was just far more creative. The eye test, you could see everything going through Trent. So Robertson, I'm going to hold him for now. There's no issue. I've got other issues that I want to concentrate on. But yeah, he is a worry for me. He's the one on the radar to possibly move to a Trent, or do I just go down to someone like, we heard Gomez is playing. I don't think I can rely on him playing longer term. For now, Robertson stays in though. I'm absolutely holding him. There's no urgency to get him out the side. Dalot, on the other hand, his fixtures don't look great. Man United, as we know, not looking brilliant. He's gone down in price, but I'm happy to. Could have got rid of him earlier on this week, but I'm just prefer to let him go down to make more time, give me more time to make a better decision. 1 point he's got me so far. His XGI is actually not that bad, but Man United just don't look like going to keep a clean sheet for love nor money, and I wouldn't trust them at home to Liverpool to do that. His XGI looks all right, and I think his place is cemented. For now, I could move him out the side. We'll talk about that in the end. But for now, he's still in my side. I'm holding him for the time being. Walker looks great fixtures. Never really getting many attacking returns. I knew that Walker, but it's a cheap way into that Man City defence, so I'm happy with him. Nico Williams looks like a real bonus. Clean sheet in the last game, didn't play him, but he's got good fixtures, great attacking threat. I'm happy to have Nico, and he'll probably be playing for me this week as well. Moving into midfield then, I am going to bring in Martinelli. Feels like a really boring move. I've moved from Saka to Martinelli. There are concerns over it, but I think for 1.7 million I'm saving. I think over the long term, and we'll look at later on reasons why I've moved him, I think he's just a better option. It's a boring option, but you know what? It's quite a simple game sometimes, FPL, isn't it? We just pick the players who are going to score the most points. And I think for the money, Martinelli is probably a better option. So I'm just going to bite the bullet, bringing him in. Got no problems. He's been brilliant this season, outstripping De Bruyne in terms of XGI. Look at that. He's not far off the likes of Salah. Got to remember, he's a fraction of the price of Salah. They're less than half. So Martinelli is coming in. That transfer's made. It's in the bag. Salah stays. I'm not even discussing that. He could well have the captaincy armband. His XGI looks really good. Didn't have much of an influence game against Palace, I didn't think. But you know what? Goal and assist game before. He's still in there. No concerns whatsoever. I wouldn't want to go into that Bournemouth game without him. So that is a consideration with Salah. Next thing now, we got Bailey. Yeah, he's got not great fixtures coming up. Hasn't got his place in the side. never judge a decision by its outcome. So if I could go back in time and knew what I knew now, I don't think I'll play him. I'll look elsewhere for 5 million options. At the time, doesn't look that bad. When he comes onto the pitch, his XGI looks all right, 0.47. But he's just not getting the time, so I'm not convinced on Bailey at all. Andreas, he's got a flag on him. But again, I think he's now for 4.5. I'm happy at home to Brentford, provided we get some update on his injury. Waiting on that. He keeps his place. I'm not considering moving him out. And the other one is Sterling. Sterling's looked all right. Got an assist in the last game. 0.68. Decent XGI. He isn't a cheap option. But I do think Chelsea's fixtures look good. I do think he is good and he's getting involved. He's getting 90 minutes. He's getting plenty of shots. I'm sticking with Sterling. He's the one differential really I feel I've got in this side. I like Sterling. I'm sticking with him. So you can see there, 0.68 is not up with the likes of De Bruyne and Salah, but I'm not paying that much either. I still think there's lots of legs in Sterling. I'm not considering taking him out just yet. Up front, we've got two players that are just going to stay there. I can't see Haaland coming out anytime soon. He looks brilliant. He has just got the best XGI in the game, even despite blanking or getting just one assist against Bournemouth. It felt like a blank, but it wasn't. Jesus, what can you say? He just looks absolutely phenomenal. So not going to even talk about him. Possible captaincy, he stays, nowhere to go for Jesus. And then Greenwood, who's just at 4.5, filling that slot in. Was hoping that Delap might go to another Premier League club. That would be a great 4.5 option, even though it would take up a Man City slot. That's not happened. So Greenwood keeps his place in the side at the moment. He's just sat on the bench. And at the moment, I've got no plans to move him out. So that is my entire side. Let's look at which players get into my starting 11. So on the screen right now, I have my side set up, team selection for game week 3. 121 points. I've got a squad value of 100.3 million because the likes of Walker, James, Haaland, Jesus have all gone up. However, conversely, my transfer value has actually gone down by 0.1. If you don't quite understand the difference between the two, go and check out the video earlier on in the week. But essentially, because of the tax that are put on any transfer profits by FPL, 0.1 makes no difference. I need 0.2 to make any sort of profit. So by that, a couple of my players, Bailey and Dalot, have gone down. So I've lost 0.1. Not too concerned. I could have moved earlier on the week to move them both out to save myself that money. You don't get money. You don't get points for having more money. And I was more conscious about making a right decision. I think those transfers and making sure they are correct and thoughtful is much more important than saving 0.1. So I've let that just happen. And I've come up with a different transfer strategy. As you can see, Saka's still in the side. And as alluded to earlier on, that is no longer the case. These are all the fixtures, whereas they were all at home last week, all away this week, except for Andreas, who comes in. So I'm just overranked, just 2.6 million, nowhere near where I want to, but I've got 2 free transfers. It was strange. I was very similar to this time last season. I felt I had a horrible start last year. Ended up at 27k, and I'm a similar position where I am now. And I've just got to remember and learn from last year, just not to make any panic decisions, just keep making the sensible right decisions as I did last year, and just trust that it's going to be okay. But the one transfer that I made then, and I was zooming and on about this a lot, Saka 8 million, I brought him in at the start of the season because I was convinced he was going to outscore Martinelli. And you know what? I still think he will outscore Martinelli. But statistically, he's just not doing it. He's got an XGI of 0.31, which is not great. Whereas Martinelli at 0.78 is just outstripping him altogether. Saka, 1 assist, no goals. Whereas we know with Martinelli, he's played 2 games and he has got 2 goals already. So he's just outstripping Saka altogether this season. Now that's only a straw poll of 2 results. But in fact, if I go back much further than that, as we looked on the watch list earlier on this week, it's not just this season where Martinelli has outperformed in terms of output in terms of Saka. So we know this already. Martinelli's just winning on all fronts there. He's getting 19 points per game. Strangely enough, last 5, Saka does outscore him. That's going back to last season. But if you look at the last season as a whole, previous seasons, last 3 seasons, Martinelli's XGI is pretty good. He's not getting as many goals in the last 3 years or assists, but that's just purely through the volume of games that Saka's been playing. If you actually boil down its expected goal involvement, Martinelli is outplaying him. I guess the only problem with Martinelli has been over the last 3 years, he's been consistently playing football injury-free, and it looks like he has now got that. So I'm convinced that the last 2 games, they're not just a flash in the pan. Yes, if he's playing every week, he can outscore Saka. Saka's now on pens. That does bother me. And I'm not keen on making a move. I'll be honest with you. I'm not excited about moving Saka. I'm not looking forward to away at Bournemouth and seeing Martinelli play, because I'm going to be a little bit conscious of the fact that I've taken Saka out and I still think he's going to outperform him. But what I've got to remember is, I suppose, don't want to just stubbornly hold on to Saka. And also, I'm saving myself 1.7 million. Now, that's quite a considerable saving. So even if Saka outscores Martinelli, if I can find 1.7 million better elsewhere in the side, use it correctly, I could still end up with better points. Martinelli is consistently hurting me, so I can't deny that as well. But that means he's coming. So Martinelli has come in. I've used one of my transfers, leaves me 1.7 in the bank. So that's been done. I'm okay with that. So the rest of the side looks like this. There's no other players I think I desperately want to. I'm happy leaving Nico Williams in there. Dalot, I'm not happy owning, but he can be on the bench anyway. Bailey is a concern because he's not playing, but again, he can go on the bench anyway. Greenwood's just literally on the bench the whole time. So actually my first 11 will pretty much stay the same. I could use another transfer and I could make some changes, and I'm going to go through it in a minute. For the time being, I think Salah has got to be the captaincy. It is tempting to go Jesus. Salah, I think, just looking at the state of Manchester United at the moment, sorry to say it, Man United fans, I just see Liverpool, really doing well at Old Trafford, and I think Salah has got to get the armband. I've got to trust him. The other transfer that I could make, so I was very close, I'm not saying I won't do it, but I think I'm 90% sure I'm not going to do it, is that Henry could come in. 4.5, I can just move straight from Dalot to Henry, and they have some good fixtures. They're defensively, they look good. Fulham away, Everton at home, Palace, Leeds, Hampton's great set of fixtures. So Henry could come straight into the side, but because Dalot's on the bench, I'm not sure who I'll take out. It'd probably be Pereira, but I'm not convinced enough to lose a transfer, precious transfer, to take Pereira out and put Henry in. I'm not convinced enough. And the other thing that is in the back of my mind is that when he becomes fit and available, I want Doherty. I desperately want Doherty. His XGO last year was brilliant. So if I want Doherty, if I bring Henry in this week, Doherty then becomes available and starts the next week. Remember, the problem, I'm not expecting him to start against Wolves. He may do. He got the EFL Cup in midweek. Hopefully he gets minutes then, and possibly starting against Forest, because I do think when he's fit, he's nailed. So if that is the case, he does come in for the Forest game, who am I going to take out? It's probably going to be Henry. So I've moved Henry in for 1 week to take him out. So I just feel that's a waste of a transfer, and I'm happy to play Pereira over Henry anyway. So I'm thinking maybe I'm just going to roll the transfer again. My transfer, my side's going to be 1.7 short. That's fine. It could still work. But it also leaves me flexible in case anything else happens, any other transfers. So that is my side. That is where I am at the moment. Fingers crossed. That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know, what are your transfer plans for game week 3? Who have you brought in? Who are you shipping out? Who is your captaincy going to be? Let me know in the comments below. We'll be coming back at you with a wild card over the weekend, I suspect, once Saturday and Sunday's results are out of the way. In the meantime, don't forget to hit like. Makes a big difference. Subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.